that correctly.
6 million.
$6 million for getting second place in the tournament. Not bad. But Hossein Ensan, of course, was the winner that time out. $10 million. I have seen him around actually. I saw him here earlier yesterday. I don't know. Always a regular here. Short drive across the border.
Dario Sammartino with King Jack of Hearts. Oh, Ace Jack suited quickly down by Tochi, who was sitting on a stack that could have gave action right behind him. I'm surprised.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Ace Jack of Spades. Regardless, it is Maza, the Frenchman, in the big King Queen of Clubs.
That's a Busma. Man whose name I've seen cropping up in some hand histories on the outer tables. Now we see him here with the dominating hand from the big blind.
Does have more than 35k back.
Flopping way the best of it on Queen 8-5.
No connection for the King Jack of Hearts, no backdoor hearts as well.
Definitely got some decimal points, doing some funny things here on the stack sizes. They're obviously playing way more than 386 and 35k. See bundles in front of Sammartino.
It'll be very hard for him to win this pot, but he's going to try. Let's fire out some bet.
Yeah, those 25k's are the blues, 100k's are the browns. So yeah, about 1.6 million back here facing a bet of something, and Mazarus might just check raising Randy with the top pair. Deciding he has so many bluffs, I guess, on Queen 8-5, all the straight draws possible, the flush draws possible, that he's willing to play this queen for stacks. Oh, in fact, he had another blue stack behind.
Closer and closer to the finish line.
Right, is it sad that I just opened YouTube on my phone and liked the stream myself?
To be honest, no. Because I have yet to do that, and I will after I see how this hand develops. Sammartino, ace-9 of diamonds. Side ace-2 in the big. Of course, it is a hand that's dominated quite a bit, but he's got a lot of stacks, so he can kind of afford this.
Yeah, I guess you also know Sammartino opening a little wider than most from +1 given his stack size, so maybe less domination than against some, and he finds a deuce.
Found it. Sammartino might still c-bet in this spot just because just one kind of big card out there. Expect his opponent to just check fold so frequently. But once he gets caught on this flop, he's going to be a bit cautious. 95k to kick things off.
Ooh, Randy.
Ace, 2 pair versus top pair.
Although it being the ace of hearts does obviously present far more combinations of strong hands than say the ace of spades had rolled off.
Sammartino might be thinking, do I need to charge a naked heart? Does check. That is a brick river, and that's going to cause trouble for Sammartino.
Does Sai have options here, Randy, or is it hard to check raise this hand? So
I don't think he'd be looking to check raise just ace deuce. So I would feel strongly about betting myself to not allow some tight checkbacks from like a weak ace. Maybe get looked up by a jack sometimes, depending on how you size.
$530,000 in the pot. Some brown chips have gone in.
Against 285, I don't see how ace-9 could ever fold. He even beats some of the thin value bets by like an ace-5, ace-3 that would float the flop.
Right.
But he doesn't seem very happy about it.
No, I guess he wanted to see a check call.
Yeah, a little bit of 5-6 bricked out that he could pick off as well. Would be a crazy fold, although correct.
Yeah, seems like a hell of a lot of hand to fold. The way this one's played out. Sammartino opening it up. Wow.
It's right about that.
Of course, there's far more hands. The flushes. Is he thinking maybe flushes go much bigger sizing on the river? Is he discounting them?
I believe so. He also knows that Jack X would never bet in this manner.
He's right on it.
Might think that ace-3, ace-5 wouldn't be betting themselves, as he is checking back some aces, as you can see. I just don't see how he can lay this one down. But he's got a lot of good feel as a player, but he's going to flick it in.
Well, he was right. He knew it.
The most important, the car is marked. The S is marked. You see?
People, who's doing this? Who's doing this so often?
I think it's bad. Every S I touch is marked.
Every ace?
Yes. It's not yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't know why. You see? This is S.
I call some 285 first, and then we fix this.
That's why every hand I need, now I need.
I do the same with the king of clubs before.
Yeah. I think it's bad.
Lots off.
Here we go. We're going to continue.
That ace can people just, I don't think it's big deal with the ace. People catching, if you have nails.
125. Yeah, maybe.
See, that's why I bite my nails, Randy, so I don't mark cards. Selfless act from me.
3 pass.
You can see you've got talons on the end of your fingers there, but
Talons. That's right. I'm just going to soar like an eagle.
you'd be the prime candidate.
Not a bald eagle, I'll tell you that.
Wow, alright,
Couple
Randy's
tens.
he's had his tea, he's had his coffee, he's coming out punching. Sai against Sammartino, round 2. Looking at Campus's stack behind, again remember, it's only around 750k now, I'd imagine. May look to flat here, and
I think he might flat just because it's undergun open. He's playing, what, 75 big blinds or so.
For sure, it could be a player from other streams.
It allows the big blind to maybe jam, and he can call off against that.
yeah.
Also kind of keeps him out of trouble and re-raise pots if
No, it's not.
his opponent opts to
Not
call and
as
it doesn't
often. They
come
watch him
favorable.
Now, I think for sure they will rewatch everything.
I hope.
Because in this casino it's security, right?
No, I know.
Now they have homeworks.
They have what?
Homeworks. Rewatching.
Yeah, it's funny, when you play poker in a casino and a card gets marked, gets a little indent on something, and it's the 7, no one says anything. It's a 10, no one says anything. Since there's an ace, it's like someone's marked the aces.
The person who make that, you have a 8 camera or 10 camera all the time on you.
They will
Nothing
fix
wrong
it
with
for
addressing your
sure.
concerns.
They will
Of course
find
not.
Yeah, of course.
Any concern here?
Ooh.
Potentially,
Some
because the 2 tens might be in trouble against the 2 hearts.
They might indeed, Randy. Sammartino looking to get instant redemption.
The biggest casino in Europe. They have to fix
But
it.
he's got to be worried on a a queen high board. We always say the queen high boards range seem to always be right around where the small blind range is expected to be.
Hope to.
Might be, but then again, he's got a lot of chips. He can kind of attack even if he's up against a queen.
Right.
He's flipping. He can bet here, and it's actually quite small, which would entice hands not a queen to continue. And maybe he can just double barrel this large on the turn, unimproved.
Right, setting up for multiple barrels, and also setting up to keep lots of hands in case he catches his heart, like he's just done that. Heart that gives side gut shot.
Now he's praying that size picked up top pair with the queen, or maybe some improved two pair like a 9-8, 10 jack gets there as well.
Checks through. Once again, Sammartino, who has now made the nuts.
He's probably going to discount sets just because he bet so small. They're deep. They would have seen for a check raise on a flop a lot. Decent part of his opponent's holding is still a king, queen, queen, jack.
Right, that's the part you can realistically get paid from.
Right.
The underpairs won't really enjoy a second bet anyway. This tens and jacks being kind of maybe the outliers on that front, in that they've only got one overcard to their hand. We'll see. He's got tens, he could have had nines as well. It could have been the dreamiest card for Sammartino as he bets 375.
Could be from the cash game. The cash game also.
This is pretty tough for sides. He does pick up additional outs, but ideally would want one of the hearts in hand. Although we know it doesn't really matter, given he's up against a nut flush at the moment. But if he thinks his opponent checks back some queens on the turn when a flush arrives, he might be thinking this is a made hand or one heart holding. Does lay it down, giving it to Sammartino.
Yeah, a little disappointed for Sammartino, of course, having... That'd be pretty nice. Second in the Vegas main. I'll go win World Series of Poker Europe just to get the bracelet and the $6 million.
Trying. There we go. Just picked up some chips with that jam last hand.
Yeah.
Now he's got a little bit more to be the heavy favorite for full double up, as Sai would be priced in to call off. Sammartino's got pocket sevens though, and that could change things. Because the sevens performs okay even against the 350,000 jam. It's actually a really tough spot.
Right, if he plays, does he have to ISO, or can he
I
just...
feel like you're supposed to click because the original opener has a good price to close the action, and you'd rather get this heads up against all-in player. Now, if you do come in, maybe come in with like a min raise, which
Looks like...
seems like what he's doing.
Yeah, I think he declared 5-something. Exactly what you suggested he should do.
If the jam was closer to the size that he announced, then he probably would just come in with call rather than re-raise small by 75. At this point, I think Ace-Jack has to hit the muck. You see heavy action. You know Sammartino's got a hand that's willing to commit against a all-in player. Does fold.
Racing, Randy. Racing for it all. Campus looking for the ace or queen. And I guess he doesn't mind that when he sees he's 3-bet jammed over and open and Sammartino ISOs from the small. He's
Could be worse.
yeah, definitely happy it's a pair below the queens. Not so happy it comes 9-7-3. Does have backdoor spades, Randy, but understandably out of his seat. Sammartino's not the kind of man who gets beaten by running spades, is he?
Not GG.
You busted my brother already. Came for the family.
Not GG poker.
Well,
Oh, opportunity. Maybe sit back down.
GG.
I didn't do anything.
Festival, you know.
Come on, it's a flip, pre-flop, flip.
not to be, Randy.
Always.
He does do the double over the Campus brothers.
Like the ace king, ace king, ace king. Four spade. One ace king win with the king of spade.
Sammartino in the mix from the cutoff, ace-5 suited. Man familiar in the biggest stakes in poker.
Not too many people can say they've won $6 million in one tournament alone.
Not many people can say they've lost a $4 million heads-up match.
No,
Sick.
they cannot. Mazda Bismarck coming in with the King 7 diamonds, of course. Suited kings are play lovely.
Ten-6 deuce, a couple of puppy feet.
Puppy feet, yes. I see what you're saying. Mainly backdoor potential with this ace-5 suited. Bit disconnected, so maybe can get a lot of folds on this flop from the big. Does have something with this ace-jack on the button. Deposits.
For ace, 160.
Queen 9 is something he can work with in the big. Just a minimum raise. Medium strength hand.
Seven call. Flop heads up.
Great flop for Jalba, but it comes with danger, Randy.
Danger as in open in the straight draw for Sammartino, I assume. Jalba now with top 2. Of course, wants to get value.
Yeah, well, I mean, one half of that draw will become quite evident if it were to hit.
The
Yeah.
king.
The other half, though.
Disguise and likely to get him paid off for the max.
Yeah.
If he can find the 8.
Jalba, though, for now, loving life. Top 2, having raised button against big blind. The ranges are widest from these seats. He's expected to bet this board, so of course he's going to go ahead with top 2.
Sammartino likely to come in with just check call just because it's hard for him to represent really strong hands on this flop besides king queen. Extra equity for the queen 9.
Mm-hmm. Faintest amount.
Doesn't change much for Jalba though, because he still has top 2. Some worst 2 pairs get there, which he can get a lot of value from.
And Randy, obviously hands like 10-9 have now improved to 2 pair, but 10-8, 10 queen, jack 10,
Added
jack
equity.
queen, pardon me, all got equity there. That means they're going to stick around. Might be a hand like jack X of hearts in there as well.
Yeah, there's just so many hands he wants to get value from.
He has around 3 times pot. See what sides he elects to go with here. It's gone 450. And given all those things I just said, I guess suddenly this Queen 9 is one of the least attractive hands to continue with, and there we go. Sammartino knows he has better to fight back with. I guess some sort of one-drop branding. You know, like, I paid the $1 million buy. Don't worry about it. You will see the guys walking around Vegas in the summer with the super high rollerball backpacks that they got for playing.
Oh, okay. Do they have that? I didn't know.
Yeah, yeah. They get. You see that? It's like, yeah, I paid $300K to play a tournament.
Mm-hmm.
What are you saying?
They should put the place you placed on your backpack so that we can
First out.
first out, or big prize, real flexes. And look at this, Tochi. He's been patient. Wakes up face king off of a 15 big blind rejam, and
Right.
Sammartino could be in a tricky spot because these are the kind of positions where you might be very inclined to make a call with
This
two
feels-
sevens. But then again, Tochi hasn't been out of line at all.
Right. And obviously, two Italians, they've been talking. They may know each other. I don't know. Tochi has been more inclined to be tight, but it's still hard to believe that he wouldn't be jamming with a hand like fours.
Is he
or
jamming-
ace-5 suited.
Yes, is he jamming all the pocket pairs smaller than sevens? He's certainly jamming the ones bigger as well. How much of it is unpaired hands? How much do you dominate? What about the ace-5, ace-4 suited? Are they coming in? At what frequency? Big laydown.
Wow.
Great for Tochi, as he wouldn't have wanted to flip for his tournament life there. Gets to chip up with no showdown.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say Sammartino is familiar with Tochi and is of the opinion that he's tight. Because I think...
Lay it down. Doesn't feel like he'll get paid off for the maximum every time he hits the set.
Sammartino with a defend against Bogdanov. Map 4-5, looking for some alien power. Well,
A little bit of action. Also one of those boards where the pre-flop raiser c-bets quite a high frequency.
but also one that the big blind does have some of, right? On the 6-4 complexion.
And given they're very deep, it's not unheard of for Sammartino to actually have an ace in this spot, so Bogdanov can't just relentlessly barrel against the 6 and 4Xs.
Right, is it fair to say that Sammartino actually has the most aces because Bogdanov's not going to open all the offset combos from the hijack?
I could see that. Makes sense.
Obviously, as his overall range, he does have more junk in there.
Quarter pot is the play, 110 into 440. Exactly 25%. Sammartino not looking to go anywhere. Looks like he's opting to go upstairs with this one.
Okay. Bottom pair, kind of hard to navigate. The 5 and the heart both working to give him opportunities. If he does get called, he's up against an ace to potentially turn it into a bluff down the streets.
Yeah, lots of equity. The 5 also blocks some of the continues.
The three-way all-in, ace-king versus ace-king versus ace-king, tripling up and managing to all of a sudden sit far deeper than most would have anticipated based on how short he had spun his stack down. The Lithuanian Klesis, he gave us some excitement yesterday, took some interesting lines. Opens to 160, gets 3-bet. This can't be 200K. This
No. This is
have to be
misclick.
240 for a click.
I think this is a misclick from either the production crew or Mazza.
Yeah, it's got to be a flat with this ace-4 or a bigger 3-bet.
Yeah, it's high. looking to come along for a three-way affair. Always dicey with just queen high hearts. Can be dominated in some fashion. Sammartino kind of looks a bit like Dario, no?
It's got to be Dario, doesn't it? I'm a bit thrown for a loop. Maybe it is his brother. Who knows? How about this for a flop for Sammartino, who comes along, given the price laid, top pair and a flush draw. Gutter for Ting Sai, by the way, of Taiwan. He checks it over. Predictably, Sammartino reaching for chips, 180,000 bet. This must be Dario just based on a quick Google image search. I mean, you know, the legend.
That's Dario.
But there's the brothers Greenwood, Sam and...
I mean,
you know,
unless he has a twin brother based on what I'm looking at right now, I'm gonna say that's Dario.
I'm just used to seeing him at a tux whenever he's in a tux, whenever he's at a World Series of
saving
Poker
it for the final table.
Yeah. Undercover for the time being. Ting Tsai likes the price, wants to peel. Backdoor heart draw comes in on the turn as the board pairs. Things getting interesting.
Yeah, 1.2 out there. Sammartino in position against Sai. Don't ever expect to see Sai lead. Especially when Sammartino is closing the action four ways. He's going to have all of this, all the full houses, all the straights. $375. I wonder if this size is designed to check back most rivers unimproved.
$375 to call, 1.6 in the middle. They play 3.8 effective. Tsai making the call.
Has to be some alarm bells ringing for Sammartino. That's one way to get that.
Queen of Diamonds looks so innocent as played. Blind versus blind. It's not supposed to be a card that's associated with Ting Tsai, and now all of a sudden he's looking up at this board and wondering if perhaps he can bet. We get our answer though. Checking over, and Sammartino improving his kicker just in case. And checking back. Yeah. That's a side that anyone that's played any form of poker long enough is well familiar with.
That was a pretty aggressive fold. I mean, that.
If only I were into tournaments, I would give streams epic blow-ups. I mean, just like that one there. I thought Dario approached it rather tamely. Me might give it a nice little whirly bird, you know, straight up into the sky.
Yeah, nice call on the turn, you absolute fish. Put him chips into the middle with queen high, eh?
No, come on. Everybody knows why he played it the way that he did. Gutter, then the flush draw, then the oops made the queen. That's Sammartino.
Yeah, the queen's an annoying card, but look, we've still got 60 big blinds, 16 left in WSOP Europe main event. Let's just try and stay composed.
Listen, the Italians are an emotional bunch.
Trust me,
you know?
Been going to therapy for a long time now.
One of your double helixes. Look at this. 2 overs and a flush draw up against top pair. This time Sammartino, the man with the sort of kit that he fell to. 1 pot to go. Checking over to the German.
Yeah, Poodle. Gonna sprinkle something out. It's gonna have so many bluffs here that stab on this board, so it's nice to mix in some top pairs, right? Just makes sense.
Everybody big stakes. No fucking lunch.
Sammartino plays it as a call. Another 200,000 into the middle. Ace on the turn.
Man, if Dario doesn't improve, we may very well have liftoff. There we go. There is justice in poker.
7 of diamonds after the check back from Poodle on the river, or on the turn rather. Flush for Sammartino. How does he want to approach it?
It's got relatively big. Poodle with, I don't know, this is pretty dust. Limped pot. Dario's going to have a lot of ace-x. That check call, would they go for this size? That's the real question. I don't know if they would. Even hands like 7-5, 8-5 now beat us. But again, would they actually bet this size? So he has gone polar here. Kind of repping 2 pair plus.
Yeah, 375 into 440. And did Poodle look him up? No. Sounded for a second there like the chips were splashed forward in the form of a call and that Dario had shown his hand, but
hands and trying to find a spot to double up makes me feel like he's playing for ladders rather than playing for the win, which might be the strategy for some of these guys, you know. Maybe I'm just in a cranky mood.
Sai's going to crank it up with ace king.
Oh, he's misclicked.
Take a
He's misclicked.
Take 2.
You should.
Yeah, take a run.
Must happen. Nice call.
Now these pots always get a little bit funky for me, Henry, because you know that he didn't do it on purpose. It's not an angle. But now you're left with a sense of, okay, I'm able to proceed here against a limp, kind of open here, but obviously it was a hand that wanted to raise.
Mm. Yeah, it opens the door for stuff like this to happen. Where Sammartino's like, okay, well, now I just get to limp in. So I wanted to open from the low jack. Is there a world in which I just cooler the strongest parts of his range with the 9-8 suited? Poodle's got a weird one. Again, everyone at the table knows that Sai wanted to raise. And at the end of the day, 4 days in, can forgive some pre-flop misclicks. No.
Yes. Poodle steps into it here. And I, just like you, Henry, am in a bit of disbelief that against an fairly early position opener in Sai, who clearly wanted to raise, we would decide to try to squeeze the Sammartino flat.
Yeah, this feels like he's trying, like he has the right idea in mind. Because there's 2 flat calls and wants to thin out the field a bit. Or just pick up the dead money in the middle. especially with the Sammartino overlimp. Like, we should never really be too worried about what Sammartino's range looks like, in the sense that it's never going to be like top of range, right? Sammartino's never just going to flat here with a big pocket pair or a stronger ace.
You wouldn't think. I mean, maybe if he was being very devious and, you know, it would just be so far-fetched, though, to assume that anybody would attack after we limp, let alone after Sai misclicked. Now the 3-bet to 1.5. An instant regret creeping into Niels Poodle's mind.
Yeah, he definitely saw it, right? Like, he definitely knows that Sai wanted to open and misclick limped. I'm furious for Sammartino, to be honest with you. Not getting to see a flop with the 9-8 suited. Sai really just getting it done. Gonna be up to 6.7 million unless Poodle does something crazy here with the ace-jack. I think he's kicking himself a bit.
I think he won't min-raise, but he...
Yeah, Sammartino caught in the crossfire as Poodle. Where else would you rather be, Henry? You know? Main event, World Series of Poker Europe, people from dozens upon dozens of countries, coming from far and wide, sometimes just hopping in the car, crossing a couple of borders, and parking their bones down here. And one of these final 16 will eventually lay claim to 1.5 million euros, and we'll be right here for it, and hope you will be as well. Sammartino, ace-king, he knows what it's like to get right to the peak of a main, as he did in Las Vegas once upon a time, coming up just short in second, making it 210 here, and Poodle, whose last foray into the middle was with an ace-jack, ill-fated 3-bet, choosing to play the 8s as a flat.
Note the fold from Klezis, by the way. 6s hitting the mark from the low jack. Gets really dicey with ICM now. I mean, these pay jumps all the way down to the FT are really meaningful. Mazza with what seems like an obvious spot does just mull it over a bit before passing up on the Queen 10. Sai with the offsuit wheel ace. Again, against these positions, never thrilled about defending the big three ways. Yeah, I like that. Take note. I really like that. Just avoiding disaster. As he would have flop trips. I mean, that's brutal. Just getting punished for
playing well,
being disciplined.
Yeah.
That's so grim.
Merciful for Poodle, though, whose 8s now stand alone in front of the ace-king. Sammartino not going to follow through.
Man, the poker gods can be so cruel sometimes.
Snap check back from Poodle, by the way. Picks up the gut shot straight draw on the turn to go with what is already the best hand.
Check again with the ace-king, maybe go small, try and fold out some broadways, although you could argue that Poodle's range is weighted towards 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s, and some weaker ace-x. Delayed c-bet. a form of quarter pot gets looked up. Dario needs some help from the deck.
That deuce isn't going to be the card that gives it to him.
Yeah, rainbow completing turn card, I guess. Poodle could have some hands that we beat. Ace King has showdown. Does he want to go to like check decide mode?
Or block into 990?
Or block into 990. He's going to check it on over.
Yeah, I mean, the upside of the check is obviously with some frequency we enjoy a check back in a free showdown as opposed to a decision being put to us.
Yeah, I'm just thinking back to the Michael Rocco thin value block with ace high yesterday. That was just an absolute masterclass.
40K.
Yeah, it was so sick.
Into like 4 something.
It was like
500.
a little 15% or something on the river.
Got looked up by ace 10.
Yeah, because Poodle can still have ace jack, ace queen here. Some jack 10, although that feels a bit ambitious on my part. I love that he's reaching for chips here. Like, he managed to get max value out of the sixes. And I think he knows exactly where he's at. This sizing is so offensive as well.
775.
I'm a big fan of what I've seen from Poodle so far. This is such a disrespectful bet. I love it.
And Dario knows it too. Sizing up his man, just looking for anything that will help to inform whether or not this ace-king is good. And Poodle knows that he's being undressed right now.
He beats Jack 10.
Dario, that is.
Yeah, Dario beats Jack 10. I mean, I'm struggling to think of other hands that we beat. It's the sizing as well. I mean, this is a big bet. This is 80% on the river. Is he ever going to turn a hand? Oh, he's got paid. Bravo. That is a world-class river bet from Poodle.
Sammartino dejected, obviously, to have been milked for such a big figure by those eights, which played it nicely.
Poodle has done a fantastic job at extracting max value in a couple of spots.
All it would have taken is a spade on the end there, Henry, for carnage.
Oh, we've seen net worths be exchanged at the flip of a card.
Yeah.
Tournament defining cards have been dished out over the years. Career defining, some of them. Pretty crazy to think. One of the biggest ones that I know of personally was that of Mr. Espen Jorstad.
Sure.
Day 3, 9-7-4 board. He's got pocket 4s. Guy's got pocket 7s. Just manages to find the case 4 on the river early. Fast forward a few days. Wins the bracelet. You know.
How many times do you suppose that gentleman told that story?
Yeah, I
The
mean,
man on the other side.
yeah, exactly. It's the other side that you don't get to hear, right?
Right.
That's the crazy thing.
King 10-7 middle pair for both Sammartino rather, and Poodle. Advantage the German here with the ace kicker. You see Dario not going to follow through with that king high out there. A lot of the Broadway combos may be inclined to bet. Not Poodle though. Now, two-way double gutter.
Well, from 1 out to 7, we'll take it.
Certainly.
Looking for a queen or an 8. Jack would also win it for him. We've had another elimination, by the way. Field size down to 14. Scanning through the updates as the Jack of Hearts does find its way to the river.
How about that for an upgrade? 2 4-liners on the board, of course. So any queen would be an issue for Dario's hand. But he does find a winner on the end.
I'm sorry.
Bless you.
Rough couple of hands for Poodle. Sammartino reaching for blocking chips with the river 2 pair. Poodle's a spicy customer, man. Really thinks every spot through. May even do something really spicy here. Blocking ace queen, queen 10 suited.
$185 feels like it's the kind of bet that either really doesn't want to see a raise or is absolutely begging for one.
Yes, a +1 open against the hijack. I think Poodle is going to have ace queen in his range here that just flats, especially with ICM, especially from what we've seen so far.
Yeah.
These final 2 tables. The fact that these cards haven't hit the muck yet.
Well, they're not going to get played as a flat. I think that much we can very well rest assured of.
Oh man, this guy is such a gangster. This guy is so sick. Please do it.
They're not in yet.
Please do it.
But they certainly look like they're being baked.
Let's go.
Into the oven it goes.
Let's go, Poodle.
Doesn't.
Just execute it to perfection.
Doesn't take long for the Italian to concede and
Don't cheat book.
Shout out 6 poker.
no cause for alarm. Volkov simply dropped a few chips. Wasn't actually looking to get involved with 6-3 off. Sammartino. Diamonds are smothered. Has really his morale.
Yeah, it's been a rough level. Very rough level. Started with around 55 bigs, dropped down to 29. Potentially going to pick some up here. But yeah, losing 20 blinds in any level is rough, especially with a clock like this and a structure like this.
Top pair for Sammartino against the 2 overs and the gut shot. Backdoor diamonds, all of which come together for a 280K c-bet out of Poodle. Let's see if Dario wants to make noise. For now, just a flat. 10s and 7s, though, on the turn as it goes from gut shot to double gut shot for Poodle and from 1 pair to 2 for Dario Sammartino.
That's a very spicy turn card. The fact that Poodle still has 8 outs here, it's pretty wild. 1.1 million out there. Potential lead card for Dario would be unorthodox, but honestly don't mind it. I mean, if it's a turn card that you think your opponent's going to check back a decent amount of the time, yeah, reaching for chips.
A lead of 225, and now with the double gutter and the 2 overs at this price, Poodle could certainly be retained. So another 450 sliding in, and
no.
the Queen of Hearts, the Devastator for Sammartino. Backdoor hearts on the board.
Yeah, really, the only saving grace is that it does complete the flush. Had a non-heart queen rolled off. Really could have been showers. Still expect Sammartino to lose a lot of chips here.
Yeah. He's only got 2.4 back. 1.5 SPR. Note that he's found the check.
Which is incredible, by the way.
Yeah, and will he be able to find a fold in the face of sizing from Poodle, which we expect to be meaningful?
I'm not sure. I think Poodle's going to have some very natural bluffs here. Some ace-jack type holdings. I don't think queen-jack, jack-10 or jacks ever turn themselves into a bluff. That doesn't really make much sense. It has so much showdown. But there certainly are bluffs in there. Ace-9 with a heart, I don't think so. I don't even know if Poodle's opening ace-9-0 from under the gun. He could potentially value own himself with a hand like kings with a heart, aces with a heart. It's 1.3 into 1.6, more than half of Dario's stack. And we were just talking about the chance for him to head into break and just shake things off, come back with 30 bigs. It's looking likely to be sub 15. This would be a world-class fold, given how this hand's played out. It's made the call, Ali. 4.2 million chip pot for Poodle. And you just see it go from bad to worse for the Italian.
Yeah.
We've all been there. We know how that one feels. That is probably the roughest level anyone could have expected.
Boy, and just how lonely is it to have everyone checked out? And there you are, from the looks of it. In no small part due to efforts from folks in your orbit.
We're trying, man. Definitely trying. Dubai is very rapidly growing. Blinds have gone up to 60k, 120k.
Sammartino, who has not been able to get anything going, Henry, targeting the button open of Ting Tsai, which is attached to some reasonable kit here. Ace-10 offsuit and actually dominating this Jack-10. And he's had a front row seat to the frustrations of Sammartino, not the least of which took place just before the break. He wasn't present for it, but obviously comes back and sees the impact to the stack. And it all comes together
A10 10J.
To form a call, as you hear Sai letting his rail know what's what.
Yeah, from 5.5 million to out in 5, unless he can connect in some form, whether it be a straight, spades, or a jack.
Ace, queen, deuce, and Sammartino's woes continue here. Gut shot straight. It's what he's going to need, and a king is the only thing that will give it to him. Instead, queen on the turn for the time being, and it's just 4 outs. One time for the former runner-up in the World Series of Poker main event back in the U.S. Can he stay alive here in Europe?
Good luck.
No. That'll be that. So what began the last hand prior to the break is finished off. First hand.